Hello, you beauties and beasties out there. It's DF, and welcome to Beauties and Beasts, a podcast of all things Beauty and the Beast. Well, I did it. I watched all 3 Descendants movies, and okay, I'll admit, not as torturous as I thought it would be. It did have some fun bits. I still think the franchise is kind of corny, overrated, and an inferior ripoff of Ever After High. But it does have its Beauty and the Beast elements that we have to cover. So in 2015, Disney released on Disney Channel the original movie Descendants, about the children of their characters going to high school and defying their destinies set out by their parents. Just like Ever After High, only the names are less creative and the acting is live and a whole lot campier, with poorly timed musical numbers. Well, that's Disney Channel movies for you. No, don't get me wrong. Disney Channel movies are good in their own way. For what they are. Direct-to-TV movies. Descendants has 2 sequels, a book series, and an animated spin-off, Wicked World, which is honestly better than the movies themselves, but not considered canon, which is a shame because I liked Freddie Facilier and was kind of bummed when she was replaced with Celia Facilier, who is not that different, actually. Yeah, even after 6 hours, feelings are still mixed. Although I have to admit, the romances just barely save the franchise. Just barely. Before we get into this, I'd like to thank my $5 plus patrons, Anime Guy 1101, Arvin Joshua Rocks, Bella PinkSavage, and TyrannosaurusVenom. Thank you for your continuing support. You too can help support this podcast by becoming a patron today. Minimum is $1 a month. Just click that button or follow the link patron.podbean.com/beautiesandbeasts. That's patron.podbean.com/beautiesandbeasts. Or buy my merchandise on Redbubble at disneyfanatic23.redbubble.com, disneyfanatic23.redbubble.com. I've got new Halloween merchandise. If you want a specifically themed face mask or tote bag to hold all your candy in. Trick-or-treating may be a bust this year, but we can still get our candy at the store. And hey, what better time of year to wear a mask than Halloween? Though just saying, I bet there are going to be a lot of people dressing up as doctors/nurses out there, since the mask will go with the outfit. I mean it, guys. Just a month back at work, and I'm already dealing with people who just don't get mask and social distancing etiquette. I've had people refuse to wear proper masks and just totally disregard the face shields and just move past them. Like, why do you think they're up there? We're in a pandemic with no vaccine yet. Wear a mask, keep your distance, and please try to touch things as little as possible, or if you are going to touch things, use sanitizer or wash your hands. In my case, I wear gloves when I go out. You can never be too careful. So, Descendants takes place in the magical kingdom of Auradon, which is a unification of all the lands, ruled by Belle and her beast, the worst version of them I've ever seen. Like, seriously, Disney. Their son, Ben, is about to turn 16 and become king. As his first decree, he wants to bring all the kids from the Isle of the Lost to attend Auradon Prep. See, the Isle of the Lost is where they banish all the villains who apparently survived their movie deaths. At least Ever After High was its own fairy tale universe where they could have changed the fates of the villains, but come on, we've all seen the movies. We know what happened to Maleficent and Ursula and Jafar pretty much died, and yet they lived on and have kids. Ugh, Disney canon. Keep track of it, okay? Bella PinkSavage saying in the chat, my guess is that this whole franchise is an AU. Okay, fair enough. It's Disney's own horrible fan fiction, you could say. Anyway, Ben's parents think it's absurd to invite the villain kids over, but Ben believes villain kids deserve a second chance. Or rather, a first chance since they weren't the ones who took over the world. Yeah, Beast Dad. Like, like Belle gave you a chance. Seriously, why are Belle and the Beast so out of character in this movie? The 4 villains' kids, or VK for short, who are invited to Auradon Prep are Evie, daughter of the evil queen, Jay, son of Jafar, Carlos, son of Cruella de Vil, and Mal, daughter of Maleficent. See? Most uncreative names ever. All they did was take the first letter of a character's name and make it into something short and modern, unlike Apple White, Raven Queen, Briar Beauty. I mean, come on, put a little more thought into your characters, okay? Maleficent and crew decide to take advantage of this opportunity and instruct their children to sneak into the school and take Fairy Godmother's wand so that they can break the Isle barrier and take over Auradon. Okay, I will admit, Kristen Chenoweth as Maleficent is one of the better parts of this movie. Because Kristen Chenoweth is awesome in everything she does. Too bad she's not in the sequels, though. Yeah. Though, what's with Jafar being a thief and teaching his son to be a thief as well? I mean, in the movie Aladdin, Jafar's a sorcerer. His evil is malicious influence, not thievery. Although I do guess if you lose your powers, that's what you'll resort to. Still, Jay has more in common with Aladdin than he does Jafar. Yeah, Belle PinkSavage. Now he's a shopkeeper? Well, I guess if he's more in tune to the live-action Aladdin, who started out as a thief. Even so, that was made after Descendants. So, what is going on here? Anyway, punk delinquent VKs arrive at Auradon, greeted by Ben and his girlfriend Audrey, daughter of Aurora, Sleeping Beauty. Ugh, these names. Who is a total jerk, by the way. At night, the VKs sneak into the museum on campus to grab the wand, but security is tight. So Mal tries to befriend the fairy godmother's daughter Jane by magicking her pretty hair. Apparently, the headmistress godmother doesn't believe in magical shortcuts anymore and should focus on what's inside. Okay, so what was all that stuff with Cinderella? Seriously. So Mal convinces Jane to try and get her mom to bring out the wand. It doesn't work, but more girls start asking for hair makeovers for Mal, including Lonnie, Mulan's daughter, who's just kind of there. I mean, seriously, why is it always Mulan who's just getting underused in these crossovers, like in Wreck-It Ralph 2 and in Once Upon a Time? Like, Mulan just, she doesn't get enough credit in all these crossovers. Meanwhile, Evie has gained the attention of Doug, son of Dopey, and Chad, son of Cinderella. Chad. Well, I guess that is a one-dimensional mean boy name. Yeah, I see Belle PinkSavage called Audrey a one-dimensional mean girl. Well, here's the one-dimensional mean boy. Yeah, as Belle PinkSavage says, Chad lacks charm. Evie is more interested in Chad because her mom had told her to snag a prince in using her good looks and feminine skills like sewing and cooking and cleaning. But Chad's more interested in the magic handheld mirror he's been using to cheat in science. So he convinces her to do his homework. Yeah, real charming. And Jay has become the tourney, aka generic sports star, learning about working as a team. And Ben helps Carlos get over his fear of dogs by introducing him to Campus Pup Dude. All right. Carlos is my favorite character in this movie, and he is such an adorable human puppy, pun intended. And I was very sad when the actor passed away last year. Moment of silence for Cameron Boyce. Yeah, I will admit that it actually was a good concept having Cruella teach her son to be afraid of dogs after what dogs did to her. And Belle PinkSavage is saying, I wish they used a bigger dog like a Rottweiler or a Pit Bull. Yeah, but I understand why they use a small dog. One, easier to train. Two, it's more comical when it's a teeny tiny dog and he's just running away from it. Oh gosh, I do miss Cameron Boyce. Anyway, Mal learns that the fairy godmother will have her wand out at Ben's coronation, and the front row is reserved for Ben, his parents, and his girlfriend. So, to get that spot, Mal whips up love potion cookies to get Ben to dump Audrey for her. At first, Mal is just playing along, but starts liking how Ben sees good in everyone and believes everyone deserves a second chance. So, feeling guilty, she whips up an anti-love potion, seeing no point in keeping up with the act after the coronation and the takeover. Family Day arrives, and Mal has an unpleasant encounter with Audrey's grandma, Sleeping Beauty's mom, who blames Mal for what Maleficent did to her family. I mean, fair enough, but Mal technically did nothing to you guys. And suddenly everyone turns on the VKs, even Doug, who had convinced Evie that she could be smart without the magic mirror and didn't need to dumb herself down to win a guy. And Jane suddenly becomes mean for no reason, so Mal reverts her hair back to normal. Yeah, what is with everybody who was nice to them suddenly changing their minds after, like, one incident? Like, this movie needs to work on their character development, because it just kind of flips, here and there. Anyway, this incident is to push the VK's need to go through with the wand heist and prove themselves to their parents. In the carriage ride to the coronation, Mal gives Ben the anti-love brownie for after the ceremony, but he says, "Oh, I can't wait," and eats the brownie. Mal then asks if he feels any differently about her, and he says, "Not sure. Let's give the anti-love spell a few minutes to take effect." Yeah, I know, right?
Uh-oh.
He had known the whole time. Ever since they'd gone swimming in the enchanted lake, it had washed away the spell. And Mal says, "So you've just been faking since then?" "I haven't been faking anything." Okay, this part was kind of cute. Most people aren't so forgiving about love potions, but Ben had liked Mel even without it, and had just figured Mel had been expressing her feelings in the only way she knew how. But also knew she felt guilty about it and tried to undo it. So I guess Ben really does take after his mom, even though she can't remember her own morals, Belle. Why does this movie have to make me hate Belle and the Beast? Why would you do that to me, Disney? Make me love characters and then hate them. Okay, so coronation time. Ben is crowned king. Jane ends up stealing the wand to make herself pretty. Oh wow, plot twist with this totally insignificant character. Ends up breaking the barrier. Maleficent comes through, and there's this totally anticlimactic battle between Mal and Mom, and Mal ends up turning Maleficent into a lizard. Yeah. The VK kids then decide to stay in Auradon as they can pursue their own interests here without their parents holding them back. There's this big party, and then 2 more sequels. Okay, as I've said, way similar to Ever After High. Oh, and as Belle PinkSavage, she describes the ending the best. Defeated by the power of friendship and a staring contest. Like, I know I watched My Little Pony, but even so, the power of friendship had this huge rainbow blast. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, this story is similar to Ever After High, except the VKs are taught to assimilate into goodness rather than pushed to save villains by the school. Rather, no one believes they can be more, and not saying they can't be more. This is made apparent in the sequels that the Isle of the Lost is made to represent low-income neighborhoods or the hood. In real life, kids from poor communities or kids from criminal backgrounds, either from their own juvenile record or their parents, are not expected to succeed or turn their lives around. Even if kids have a clean record like Dizzy Tremaine, they'll be judged for their socioeconomic background. And yet when someone from Auradon tries to take over, like Audrey, they are given a slap on the wrist, while when it's one of the villains who tries to take over, it's full-on banishment. Yeah, nice, Beast King. You and Belle learned nothing from your story. Yeah, I can't get over that. I'm sorry, I can't get over that. Yeah, lots of canon Disney characters are not kept consistent in this huge crossover. Like with Jafar being a thief, the majority of the villains being alive, Belle and Beast being so judgmental, and Mulan baking cookies. Okay, sure, okay, even athletic moms can bake cookies, but I couldn't help being bothered about Lonnie's speech on moms baking cookies. Moms specifically. Like, she's like, your mom's never made you cookies? Not even your parents never made you cookies? Moms aren't the only ones who bake cookies, you know. How is it this franchise tries to be all defying expectations and, empowering people, yet at the same time reinforces gender roles? Yeah. And Lonnie, like many characters, is simply just there. Others, including Jane, Harry Hook, Chad, shoehorned in as flat, obligatory love interests and sidekicks. Well, at least self-absorbed, daring, charming, and Ever After High had his own character arc. That guy was really just a jerk at first, but then he changed, and meanwhile, some characters like Chad just stay horrible. Or Lonnie just kind of there. Sure, Lonnie turns out to be a badass like her mom in the second movie, but still is just there. And sidelined as Jay's love interest. Not to mention she wasn't in the third one, although that was apparently due to scheduling conflicts with the actress. Same as Jane. Yes, I think Jarlos was totally forced in the franchise. I was more into the other Jarlos, as in Jay and Carlos. Yeah, their friendship I found more endearing. And I will say the friendship between the main four was really well done. And yes, Mal and Ben kind of make a cute couple. Mal sort of had the beast role in this relationship. Not physically, but was morally askew at first, and even believed herself to be evil. But Ben saw her other qualities, her humor, her talent in art, her bravery, and totally not creeped out when she is turned into a dragon. And she actually digs when turns into a beast, liking the beard, and sort of the fangs. Hey, to each their own. They do make a pretty good team, bringing the best of both hero and villain worlds, and find ways to save each other, rather than one constantly saving the other. It's definitely not a one-sided relationship. Though, I feel like Mal's conversion to good wasn't as believable in the first movie as, say, Evie's, Jay's, and Carlos's conversion to good. Unless the only reason that Mal became good was Ben, there wasn't much indication that she didn't want to be like her mom. Yeah, Bella PinkSavage agrees with me. It felt too rushed to me. And when I first saw the movie with my roommate, she thought so as well. This kind of happened fast. Though this is addressed in the next movie when Mal falls under the pressure of being good and then ends up running back to the aisle. It just goes to show, changing for the better is good, but you don't want to just do it for one person. But you don't want to forget yourself entirely or your roots. And Belle and PinkSavage describes the beginning of movie 2 perfectly. We begin movie 2 with extreme apple bobbing montage. Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, wait, why do we have this? That was a confusing bit for me. You remember what I said about poorly timed musical numbers? I will say that some villain parents in this franchise ended up being okay, parent-wise. Like Dr. Fassier, and to an extent, Hades, who, surprise, is Mal's father. Yeah, actually not that surprising for me, to be honest, as this wasn't the first time Disney paired Hades with Maleficent. Anyone else remember that House of Mouse episode? Though, I would love to know how the other villains ended up with children, let alone spouses. Like, who was crazy enough? So overall, this franchise was not as bad the second watch through, but I think it gets more credit than it deserves, especially when you watch it alongside Ever After High. Although some couples like Ben and Mal and Evie and Doug are very cute. And I like one or two of the songs. I think they're good, but they mostly happen at awkward times and don't do much to move the story along. Like, stop singing and just kiss the guy awake already! Even after sitting through all 3 movies, I definitely choose Ever After High over Descendants, so no, don't ask me to do any AMVs or PMVs on them. Rotten to the core was enough. Okay, so that's actually all the notes I have, and not that many this time. Just a lot of ranting. Unless you guys want me to say more about Descendants 2 and Descendants 3. I will say Uma was entertaining at bits, though the whole What's My Name song kind of went on for like ever. Like, what's my name, what's my name, what's my name? You gonna sing any other part? So, if there are any questions in the chat right now, we have Bella PinkSavage, or $10 plus patron. Remember, if you want to add anything to the conversation and join the chat in these episode streams, pledge at least $10 a month and you'll get the link to the private streams. Okay, so while you're thinking about that, Bella, about what you want to say or ask, I just want everyone to know that next month is October. You might know that, of course. So the next 2 episodes will be Halloween specials. And as voted on by the $3 plus patrons, the next 2 topics will be... That probably sounded awful. Hotel Transylvania and Creature from the Black Lagoon. So, in 2 weeks we will have Hotel Transylvania, and 2 weeks after that we will have Creature from the Black Lagoon, which have Beauty and the Beast themes of their own, but are movies that we like to watch around Halloween time. Remember, pledge at least $3 a month to participate in the polls. Hurry now to get your Halloween merchandise in time for Halloween on redbubble.com. Okay, so Bella PinkSavage. The 3rd movie would have been faster if Audrey would have just killed everybody. Yeah, I gotta say, she was not really entertaining as a villain. Like, I'm just gonna be a mean girl in the first movie, and then 2nd movie, I'm just not gonna be there, and then 3rd movie, okay, I'm gonna take over, I'm just gonna be like the 2nd Maleficent, and just not acknowledge my own fault at all. She really doesn't. Like, Mel took everything from me. I didn't do anything wrong. Like, actually, you were a very horrible person. This is never acknowledged. Like, I liked the Audrey before. Like, yeah, sure, you liked the Audrey before. She was never nice. Ever. Okay, and Bella PinkSavage says, why is Hades on the Isle? Who is collecting souls now? Is death even a thing? The Hell Beast? Actually, there is a god of death who is not the same as the king of the underworld, who brings the souls down to the underworld. Hades is more like the, I guess you could say, the jailer than the one who actually collects all the souls. So, I didn't think that was a problem. I just think every other underworld god and spirit and guardian is just running things as best they can. Like Hades is a king, and then you've got the judges, and then you've got, you've got all those people. Okay, and the Bella PinkSavage, why didn't Jay and Carlos just tell Fairy Godmother what happened? I mean, the King Ben was kidnapped. It's time to bring in the Royal Guard to destroy Uma. Well, actually, a good point. Uma said, if they told anyone about Ben, that Ben would be history before they could even get there. So they couldn't risk harming Ben. It's like, don't you dare call the police, or your friend is dead. So I will say that point. Okay, I think I might have to wrap this up. Ugh. I only just vacuumed in here, and I think some of the dust lingered. Ugh. Okay, so any other thoughts to add? Now remember, if you want to join these conversations, pledge at least $10 a month, Click that Become a Patron button or follow the link patron.podbean.com/beautiesandbeasts. That's patron.podbean.com/beautiesandbeasts. Just $1 a month will give a whole lot of support. Like if 50 of you all pledge at least $1, that's $50 a month for me. A little goes a long way. Okay, Bella PinkSavage says that she has one more thing to add. All right. While you do that, I'll have some more water. Yeah, overall, I think Descendants is fun to watch if you like Disney jokes or Disney making fun of itself. But, yeah, like, as a whole, it's it's still really cheesy and campy. And, well, as with a lot of Disney Channel shows, movies, character development's kind of meh. Kind of like Sharpay's development in the High School Musical franchise. We love her as a villain, but you have to admit, she doesn't change at all from movie to movie. Yeah, she really doesn't. Okay, so we're gonna get one more point, and then we're going to sign off for today. Alright, Bella PinkSavage. These songs are catchy, but that's it. These movies have repeatedly used songs to rip away the emotions out of a scene. For songs like One Kiss, we have to pause the story to have a musical number. Ugh! Yeah, that One Kiss totally annoyed me. Like, one kiss, we'll finally know, and if it doesn't work, then what? I'm like, just kiss him and get it over with, for crying out loud. Even Daring Charming took a shorter time to kiss Apple White, and that didn't work at all! Okay. Anyway. Okay, that's all for today. Remember, next episode will be on Hotel Transylvania for Halloween, and after that, also for Halloween, Creature from the Black Lagoon. And if you haven't seen these movies already, you should. They are definitely worth a watch, especially this time of year. Okay, Bella PinkSavage, thank you for joining us today. Everyone, be sure to check out the Patron rewards and the Redbubble merchandise. Okay, until next time, don't judge people on their background, never forget your roots, don't do love spells unless your boyfriend finds out and forgives you. Oh, no, wait, that can't be right. You know what, I take it back. Mel and Ben are a little bit messed up.